I'm going to present a selection of heritage leather motorcycle jackets. So if you're interested in this type of jacket, stay tuned. And if you've got any questions, please leave a comment down below and remember to subscribe. But before I get into the jackets, I just want to cover a few points. The first, leather types. Now, jackets in this category would typically use horsehide, steerhide and sheepskin. Cowhide is generally used for jackets at the lower end of the price scale. Now when I say skin, I'm not talking about sheepskin with the wool pylon. It's sheepskin that's gone through a leather tanning process, so it's just leather that comes from sheep. It does have a particular look about it, and it's quite thick and supple too. Now onto style, you have single riders jackets and double riders jackets. Think of it as a single breasted suit or a double breasted suit. So a single rider's jacket will have a center zip like this, and you've probably heard of cafe racers. So a cafe racer will have a center zip and a small stand collar. Then you have the double rider's jackets where the front of the jacket will overlap and the zip will be diagonal. So it will typically have lapels and often will have collars and lapels, although some of them have stand collars as well. Now I talk about these jackets are being heritage and not retro, and that's because I don't think retro is a fitting description. I mean, if you take a company like Lewis Leathers, they've been making the same designs for 50 years. Well, not more than 50 years, let's say since the 1950s. So it's not fair to call that retro. Also, some of the other companies, they specialize in vintage reproduction. So again, retro is not really the right terminology. So I refer to it as heritage, or heritage brands. The last thing is, these jackets I describe as premium because they're premium in price, being that they're all over £500 and even going into designer prices. So I wanted to start at this end, as it perhaps lets us understand what the jackets at the lower end have to live up to fit into this category of retro or even heritage. So now let's have a look at the selection of jackets. First is Belstaff. These jackets are from Belstaff's motorcycle collection, not their fashion line, so are designed for motorcycle use. They're based on Belstaff's jackets from the 1970s, but with a contemporary flavour like modern style zips and hardware. They also accommodate protective body armour but still look great on or off the bike. I particularly like the look of the brown and tan ones. Looking at the Belstaff jackets, it looks like they're using through dyed leather, with the exception of maybe the tan one that could be top dyed. That means they're going to retain their colour as they age. They'll crease and get a little bit roughed up, but they won't get that sort of browning, scuffed up look. Next is Lewis Leathers. Lewis Leathers is an iconic British heritage motorcycle clothing brand that was established in 1892. Many famous names have been seen wearing their jackets, and they've certainly secured their place in the history books. Probably their most recognisable design is the Lightning jacket, which was copied by almost every British motorcycle clothing brand at the time. They offer a range of cafe racers and double riders jackets, and their London shop has a variety of colours and leather options to choose from. So the top end companies making British style motorcycle jackets are now using sheepskin. A lot of the really early British motorcycle jackets use sheepskin, and they have a particular look about them. They crease a certain way and they fade a certain way. So to get that authenticity, they're now moved from steerhide to sheepskin, and I think that's a good move. I do like the way that sheepskin looks, and it just adds that extra bit of authenticity. So it's like really buying a 1950s jacket now. I like that. Next is the Real McCoy's. The Real McCoy's is a top-tier Japanese heritage brand, making reproductions of vintage American clothing to the highest and most accurate standards. As you can see, this is reflected in their prices. The BUCO J24 was a popular motorcycle jacket in America during the 1950s and has the distinctive D pocket on the front. This is an accurate reproduction, so you're essentially getting a brand new 1950s jacket in 2020. So yeah, the Real McCoy's, it's interesting, they use horsehide from the Japanese Shinki tannery, whilst other brands may use horsehide from the American Horween tannery, and there's a bit of a divide between the two. Some people say, oh no, Horween is the one, some people say Shinki is the one. Well, they're both nice, but I really do like that Japanese horsehide. Next is Schott NYC. Schott is an American company and is best known for their Double Riders Perfecto jacket, which was made famous by the 1950s movie The Wild One. And this Schott Perfecto is made from Horween steer hide with black anodized zips and hardware. I think it's a nice interpretation of a classic. They also offer cafe racers and have a large range of classic leather motorcycle jackets to choose from. So Schott has a tendency of making limited edition models, particularly of sort of really old jackets from the 50s, like a D-pocket BUCO style jacket, and they're only available for one season. Once they've gone, they've gone. But they are really nice jackets, so it's another way to keep people interested and keep the range desirable. I quite like that approach. Next is Biondo Endurance. Biondo is an Italian company that produces high-end motorcycle clothing. They only have one full leather jacket in their lineup, the FASTBACK Mark II, and I think it looks great. Subtle design features like the zip ribbon, where one side is red, is a really nice touch. I love the chunky vintage style zip pulls and the aged heavyweight horsehide. Biondo claims the FASTBACK Mark II is the heaviest leather motorcycle jacket on the market. How old school is that, claiming to be the heaviest? I love it. Yeah, so I guess Biondo is the outlier here, but I must admit I am a fan of the obscure. When a company just comes out with something random and it looks pretty good and they've made the effort, I really appreciate that. So yeah, definitely a thumbs up for Biondo. Next is Aero Leathers. Aero Leathers is based in Scotland and makes reproductions of vintage leather jackets. They have a motorcycle range consisting of American-style double riders and cafe racer jackets using horsehide and steer hide. They have a double riders jacket with a classic D-pocket design like the BUCO, as well as a Perfecto design and a couple of cafe racers. They also have a made-to-order service where you can choose the leather type, the zips, hardware and linings for your own custom look. I had an Aero Leathers motorcycle jacket when I was a youngster, so I can certainly attest to the quality. So yeah, I remember buying that Aero Leathers jacket. I bought it from Kensington Market in London, and I had to save up my money because I was only a youngster and it was very expensive. But once I got it, I was over the moon. I wore it to death. The red tartan lining just looked great. And yeah, I was very happy with that, and I may even buy another one at some stage. Next is Thedi Leathers. Thedi Leathers is based in Greece and make a great range of vintage reproduction motorcycle jackets. They're hard to find in the UK but can be bought from online stores. Top quality hide and accurate vintage designs is the hallmark of the brand, and it really shows in the finished product. The range of designs, colours and combinations is really impressive, and it's the one brand that can seem to do the pre-age look very well where other brands fail. An impressive lineup for sure. Yeah, Thedi is an interesting one because you can't really get them in England. Well, there is one shop, I think it's John Simmons, that has one kind of bomber jacket model. But apart from that, you know, I don't know any other stockists in the UK. But you can get them from stockists in Europe, and I think there's a couple of places in the USA, so ordering online, I guess. But yeah, very, very interesting brand. The last one here is Shangri-La. Shangri-La is based in Italy and describes itself as a heritage brand. The jackets are made in Italy using Italian hides and are conveniently designed to fit a back protector for motorcycle use. Shangri-La also offers a made-to-measure service. They have single riders, jackets and cafe racers. I like the VERENNE with the detachable mouton collar, which can also be bought without the mouton collar. The cafe racers can be had in tan nubuck steer hide or black or brown top grain lambskin. So there's my selection of heritage leather motorcycle jackets. I hope it was informative and it helps you to make a choice if you're looking to buy any of these jackets. Thanks for watching.